Hi, this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you. I just wanted to make a third and final video in my little series concerning the movie Sound of Freedom, which again, the first video you can go back and look at. Second video, I stand by everything I said. I just wanted to bring out a couple things that I either have discovered from other people talking or I've just thought about myself and wanted to put out there. So I've got a couple little points I want to make sure that I don't forget. So I wrote them down. But I wanted everyone to know that even though the movie depicts a true story about Tim Ballard and him going to Colombia and rescuing a brother and a sister, there are thousands of children that are missing just from the ones coming across the border, like 85,000 missing in this country alone, 200,000 missing. And that was a statistic from a year ago, I believe. But anyway, we are so thankful and happy that those two children were rescued. There are many others that are being rescued as well that Tim Ballard has taken under his thought and his on his own accord to go ahead and work with these to work to get these children rescued. I'm being a little clumsy with what I'm saying. I want to make sure I don't say something that is not true. I don't want to give out information that somebody can say, oh, well, that Linda girl, she was saying something she doesn't know about. So I'm only going to talk about a couple things that I observed in the movie and I think are worth mentioning. Now, before, when I did, I think it was the first video, I was talking about trauma survivors. And what was really done really, really well in the movie Sound of Freedom was depicting what happened to the children, like I said before, without really showing it. Now, the movie was very clean. And by clean, I mean, yes, you knew they were abused. Yes, you knew it was in a place that was not nice. They were hot, they were sweaty, they were made to work. These kind of things, the conditions were terrible. These kind of things were portrayed in a way that made everything understandable, but still it was done in a very clean way. Now, one thing I would say was in doing that, yes, I appreciate how they did that because it made the movie palatable for a general audience. Most people could handle what they saw, with the children in the movie. And of course, it was very heart wrenching and heart touching when you saw the parts that were really bad, and then you saw the parts that were better or good. And they did that in a really decent way. I think they did that. But again, I wanted to say that the movie was done very, I would call it clean. You saw what you needed to see, but you didn't see the real deal. I mean, what really the children would go through. And only because I've talked to people who, like I said in the other movie, the other video I did, people that have been through trauma and severe abusive situations, sexual abuse situations, they have damage done to their physical body. These are children, the ones we're talking about specifically in the movie. They are children. They are like, well, we don't know how young. They go as young as you could. It's despicable that they take young, even toddlers, sometimes babies, and they have been abused. But anyway, when that type of abuse happens to a child's body, there are injuries that really weren't depicted in the movie. I'm just saying there are injuries that are there for the rest of their lives. And I know this because I've talked to people who have had residual effects of sexual abuse. Now, when in the movie they did show a child being checked out by a doctor, well, you don't see it, but that's what they're doing. They took the child to the doctor to see for sure if there was sexual abuse. And of course, they said yes, their examination showed them that this child had injuries that are likened to what happens during sexual abuse. I want to say, on maybe a deeper level of that, that these injuries are sometimes fatal. These injuries are horrendous. They are injuries that require surgery to repair. And even though the movie did let you know that there were injuries to the children that let you know that they were sexually abused, um, the children, as depicted, were upright, walking and talking. You didn't see a child that was bent over in pain. You didn't see a child that was still bleeding. You didn't see a child that was maimed. And I just wanted to get that across, that the movie was done very well in that respect. I believe they took extra precaution to let the information be known without letting the information be known graphically, because if they had done that, they wouldn't have been able to do it. I mean, you just can't do that, and it would have set the movie into another whole place where people wouldn't have been able to see it or watch it, or shouldn't maybe see it. Anyway, I just wanted to make that clear, that they did a really good job showing the children, um, and letting us know what happened to them. But if, in all reality, if you had seen a child that just came out of a year, 6 months to a year of being abused, they're not going to be just walking around, okay. They're going to be showing visibly that they have physical injuries. And like I said, some of these injuries, children don't survive them. And some of the injuries can be taken into adulthood. And if they aren't properly taken care of through the medical system or through a medical doctor or intervention, these injuries left unchecked or unhealed can have lasting repercussions for the person, as far as if they get out, if they get married, can they have children? Can they be, in a place where they would even be able to physically have a relationship? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So that part of the movie was really good. One thing I did want to say, and I think this is all I'm going to go into because I don't need to keep doing this. There are many people out there that have their opinions about the movie, and they're almost all favorable. And we are very thankful that there are people out there that are rescuing children. And it's a drop in the bucket, just know that. And children are being stolen and taken from every place. So just know that. Now, one thing that I am a little cautious about, and I would like to mention, I don't know if you've seen people talking about this, but just like we were put in a state of panic when we had this last couple of years with this illness, many people wanted to do something to prevent getting that illness. So they received something in their body that would do that, is what we were told would take care of that. Anyway, we are seeing now through different means and sources, even the medical community, that a lot of people were not helped with that, and that's all I'm going to say. But what I want this to get across today is for this to not happen. Please don't let fear drive you to have your children, this is my opinion, chipped. Whenever something is placed in a child, and in the movie they used a tracker, it was like a GPS tracker that was implanted. It was implied that it was implanted, okay? So this tracker went with the people so they would know where they were as they were searching out the children and looking for them. Anyway, this can be used as a way of generating fear so that parents go out and put a tracker in their children. It's possible. We already have it for our pets, right? If you want to find your pet, or if your pet gets lost, they can look for the chip that's in the back of their neck or wherever they put them, and you'll know that that's your pet, whatever. Please, I'm just saying, in my opinion, this is not the best idea to have this done for your children, simply because we're already tracked enough. They can track us with our phones. They can track us with our smart, whatever it is, your smart doorbell, your smart refrigerator, your smartphone, your smart range, whatever it is. I'm just putting out there a caution to any parent who's letting fear take over and maybe will kind of talk them into, when it's available, getting a chip placed in their child for their safety, just like other people took care of getting the precaution against the illness for their safety. And it turned out not to work out so well for them anyway, a lot of them anyway. I don't know when that would become available, but we already know they're working on this kind of thing, and they want, and when I say they, whoever's running the show, I'll just put it that way, have so many things in the works that will allow them to control us, to control our society. You can look up Agenda 2030. You can look up 15-minute cities. You can look up what's happening in the food supply, the water supply. You can look up chemtrails. You can look up all these things that I'm talking about. But even though this movie shows something very good, right, and true that happened, it can be, and I'm not saying they will, and I'm not saying the makers of the movie, come on, Nat, or the actors or the producers, I'm not saying anybody affiliated with this movie is knowingly putting a inroad for this to happen eventually. Anyway, I just want to give that precaution out there. Please be aware of these things. Please be aware of things that are going on in this world that look innocent, that look like they're good, right, and true, and they just may not be. It might be a ploy to pull you into something else through fear, and we have a God that sits in heaven and lives within us that takes care of us. We do not need to have any kind of fear of these things happening to us, because we have God and he will protect us, and everything we come through, and yes, we go through things that aren't pleasant. We go through things a lot that are not pleasant, but he will be with us to guide us and lead us and direct us. And the place that we need to go, if we are finding ourselves a little uncomfortable, a little more fearful than we used to be, because we know more now, we know these things are going on, we need to be even more prone to get into the Word of God, understand what he says, know that he will never leave us or forsake us, and that he has our back. It says in Psalm 139, he goes before us, he goes behind us, and his hand of blessing is on our head. That's great. That's wonderful. He knows everything about us. He is taking care of us, and he is watching over us. And once we get that down inside and we understand that that's the truth, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. There is the truth, or there is somebody's thought about what a truth may be. But Jesus is the truth. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And this is the last one I will do about the movie. I still suggest you see it so that you're not ignorant to the things that are going on in this world. There are bad people in this world. But Jesus said, be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. And this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. That's the news for today. I would invite you to like my channel, like this video, send me a comment, find me on Facebook under Life Station Express, lifestationexpress.com, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.